Settle down, get comfortable, and let me tell you about yet another tale. This time about Trails in the Sky, an RPG that's got a massive story, but one that I think is well worth seeing through until the end. It may seem daunting to start, but I'm here to tell you that as long as you experience the story at your own pace, I'm sure you'll eventually be enthralled by the earnest and comforting qualities that can be found in the world, the characters, the battles, and the music. And it's the music that really sets the tone for what you should expect at the start of this journey. We aren't talking about the world collapsing in 3 days. The story simply begins with a focus on these two, Estelle and Joshua, and their journey to becoming experienced bracers, those who help others in need. The opening hours make it clear that this game is serious in presenting a believable world by allowing you to interact with as many NPCs as possible, whether it be through their side quests or hearing what they have to say, like Rinon here. It all makes for a joyful mood, which is enhanced by the accompanying music that has a hint of parting. And Estelle and Joshua eventually will part ways with the city of Roland, because their journey will take a turn that'll have them doing bracer work in the other cities of Libero. It's a long yet exciting road ahead of them, and the song that joins you is perfectly adventurous. Along the path to their next objective, the city of Bose, the junior bracers will encounter some moles and plants, enemies that drive home the point that the stakes here are pretty low. Still, these creatures are willing to put up a fight, and thankfully, bracers are trained in combat. So, if anyone in your party bumps into an enemy, you'll enter turn-based action, with an emphasis on positioning and turn order. Where you are in relation to the enemies, and when it's your turn to attack, will determine the best action to take. Whether it be a cyclone of damage, a water laser, or some healing. You start off appropriately weak and limited in combat, but you'll eventually have access to some pretty strong attacks, as well as more party members to strategize with. And if you've run into the same enemy one too many times, not only can you speed up the battle, but you can escape from basically all random encounters. This also applies to exploration, so you can keep up the pace and move along. Anyway, you can customize which arts and spells each character will utilize. Depending on how you set up your magical orbs, you can gain access to those stronger, more effective spells. Thus, there's a pretty decent amount of freedom in how you build your party. That freedom, combined with the joy in connecting attacks, keeps combat enjoyable for many hours, even if, at the end of the day, you are just fighting sharks and penguins. It's just good old-fashioned fun. And the fights are accompanied by which reassures you that your party will be alright as long as they have each other. As I mentioned before, your party size will increase, not only allowing for more teamwork to shine, but also expanding your view on the world of Libero and its many people. Every new character introduced to the team is genuinely likable and a welcome addition, because this game takes its time in setting up their background, motivations, and interactions with our two main protagonists. If you want to take those interactions to the next level, then I recommend you mod in the Evo voice patch, making it so the entire main story and all side quests become fully voiced. Rather than play out all the voices in your own head, instead, you can witness performances as great as these.
照れるじゃないか。インタビューならばいつでも受け付けてあげよう。
いいんですか？頭痛くなってきた。
なんていうか、ある意味同じタイプかもね。
And if you got a Steam Deck, then you could treat this game like a half audiobook, half RPG that makes it easy to jump in for an hour or two. Playing parts of this game on the deck reminded me of playing Pokemon Platinum back in the day. Not only because you can barge into some random stranger's home in both games, but because a sense of adventure is still felt even on a handheld screen that you're viewing from the comfort of your couch. And speaking of comfort, the team will soon arrive in the city of Bose, a town that's larger than Roland, but one that still invokes a peaceful feeling. Of course, more exciting things will occur in this journey, but I'd rather you experience those moments for yourself, so I'll stop the tale here. If you like what you see and or hear, then all that's left for you to do is take the plunge and experience the world of Trails, and for a pretty cheap entry fee. By the time you roll credits, you'll likely be wanting to begin the sequels immediately. And if you become truly obsessed with the world of Trails, then there's plenty more to see. But you can worry about that later. For now, just worry about Estelle and Joshua's journey to becoming full-fledged bracers, which I've shown as a mostly easygoing journey thus far. But as they say, there's always a calm before the storm.